years before I became a parent, my aspiration for my future kids is that they would be adventurous. That was one of the things that I said I'd love my kids to be as adventurous. And it got me thinking, this is years ago, it got me thinking, how do you teach someone to be adventurous? How do you instill adventure in a small growing human, in a child? How do you create a sense of adventure? How do you foster that? How do you nurture that? How do you bring a child up to be adventurous? It got me reflecting on my own upbringing. Why do I love the outdoors? Why do I love the wild so much? And I came to realise that a big part of my own desire for adventure is because when I was a child myself, my dad would take me on adventures. He'd take me to beautiful places like this, and we'd just go running in the woods, we'd go running in the Peak District, the hills, we'd climb rocks, we'd scramble, we'd climb trees, and I think that became infectious to me. I think adventure is one of those things that you can build into someone by doing it. The more you have, the more you want. So even before I became a parent, I knew that I'd want to do adventurous stuff with my kids. And a few months ago, my wife had to take my little boy into hospital for an operation. He's just here. He's okay, thank God. The operation went fine. But that meant for a day I was looking after my older boy, who's now 3 years old. He's strong, he's wild, he's adventurous, he's just here. Say hi. Give everyone a wave. Enjoying the puddles. So I thought, what am I going to do with this day? Now, it hadn't snowed up to this point in the year, and it turned out this was our first snowy day. So we went and got a special papa and son breakfast, and we decided we're going to go for an adventurous walk, maybe do something that I wouldn't normally be able to do with a little one strapped on my back. So I took him to this little valley in the hills, and there's a river running down. It's like a small gorge, but the sides of this valley are really, really steep. I'm talking so steep that you kind of like have to scramble, like holding onto the earth, holding onto roots and things. And it was snowing as well, and I thought, right, let's do this, let's have an adventure, let's push our boundaries, let's go for this. So we're moving up this gorge, up this valley with my boy, and I started pretending to do army manoeuvres, and we were running and like crawling in the mud and stuff, and it was great. It was starting to get pretty cold though, and as we were trekking up this valley by this river, we were looking for spots to start climbing, and I spotted a point where I thought maybe we could climb up the edge of the embankment here, and I'll take him with me, and it'd be this father-son gritty adventure. And as I started going, I got him to stand by a tree at the bottom and just wait for me, and I thought I'll try it out first. And as I started climbing, the earth started pulling away underneath me. It's like literally like starting to slide back down this hill, because it was just so wet, and this earth was just muddy and loose. And actually, like realizing how steep and how big it was, and knowing that I was going to do it with my little boy, just filled me with fear. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a terrifying thing to do. Now today I want to talk about fear. I want to use this story to kind of illustrate a point about fear, and I hope that I don't stack it today and fall flat on my face. That would be a great one for a video about adventure and fear. But yeah, it got me thinking about fear. I was like, and especially the stakes are high now. This is not just me who could get into trouble here, it's me and my little boy. The stakes are high, the responsibility's high, but I wanted him to have this kind of gritty adventure. I wanted him to have this unique experience that would stay with him, that he would remember when he was older. At this first point I realised we're not going to be able to get up this embankment. It's too steep. So it got me thinking about what do you do with fear. So I was talking to him and I said, you know, when you feel scared, what do you do? What's fear about? And as I was explaining to him, I thought, wow, there's some really good lessons in here about fear, because fear is a good thing. Fear must be a God-given thing. I mean, certainly for me, fear, if I didn't have fear, especially as someone who loves to push the boundaries, I probably wouldn't be talking to you today, the stupid things that I do. So fear is a gift from God. Fear is a great thing because it keeps us in check. It alerts us of danger. Careful! Sorry, talking of which, it's just over there by the river, so I think we just need to make sure he's... Yeah, looks a little bit deep over here. Oh no, it's okay. So here we go, he's just having a look at the river. Anyway, talking about fear, it's sort of fear's a way of teaching us where the boundaries lie. So we've got a river just here, and the right thing to do is to be cautious. And actually I can see my little boy is being cautious. He's okay, he's just kind of ducked over, sticking sticks in the river. But fear is a gift from God, because it teaches us when there's danger, it teaches us where to be careful. But the question is, does that mean that we stop? Do we freeze? Do we flee? Is it the thing where, you heard about the fight or flight response? Flight, you take off, you leave it, you turn the other direction. Is that the right response to fear? What we did is we continued to move up this embankment, and then I spotted a point where I'm like, okay, I think, you know what, talking about adventure, I love the fact I've got an adventurous boy, but I love it even more that he's affectionate and caring. So, talking about this, getting up this embankment, we spotted a point where it's like there's all these roots and rocks that we could hold on to, and I thought, actually, there's a good chance that we can make this. I looked at it, I thought we can probably get up this bit. So we started this journey climbing up this embankment, just slowly, bit by bit, just working together as a team. He's a really good listener, so he was kind of holding on at the right point, and we got to the top, and it felt like such a sense of accomplishment. Now, in that process, he got a little bit cold, and maybe a bit too cold, and we had to go straight back for hot chocolate and chips, which he absolutely loved. But there was this sense of realising something about fear. So the fear could have made us just turn back. We could have gone back to the car. We could have not done it at all. But instead, the fear was an opportunity to find a different route. So the fear was good. It warned us about a risk. It warned us not to push the boundaries too far. But it didn't stop us. We found a different route. Now, I want to relate this to our lives, because sometimes we feel inspired. Sometimes we feel gripped. Sometimes we even feel called to do something that feels absolutely terrifying. It feels outside our comfort zones, and it has inherent risks. It may be that you're feeling called to do something that, if it goes wrong, it could mean you're out of your home. It could mean eviction. It could mean that you suddenly lose a load of money, or there could be huge risk involved. And I just want to kind of draw on this story to encourage you about two things. Number one, don't be foolish. Don't take unnecessary risks. Listen to the fear. Listen to what the fear is telling you, but don't let it stop you. Just use that fear to help yourself think and to plan and to make wise decisions. Now, I think my other little boy is just gearing up for a nap. It's so cute, right? You may have heard this in videos. He starts singing to himself when he gets tired, so I'm going to have to leave it here. This one is now sliding down in the snow as well, so yeah, I think it's time to go. God bless you guys. I'm just going to leave it with a prayer. Father, I just pray for anyone watching this today who might feel called, inspired, drawn towards something bold, something daring, something different, that you would be with them, that you would confirm whether it's your calling or not. Father, help them to tune into the fear and work out what the risks are, to assess those risks, and to find a direction through the problem in the same way that we managed to find a safe way up the edge of this gorge, Lord. Help them to find the safest route to our objectives and goals, Lord, that they would hear you and that you would help them plan. In Jesus' name, amen. So I'm going to leave it here today. We've got adventures to have today. So God bless you. See you tomorrow. Take care and bye for now.